mean, I think this team has higher expectations than that. And I know they're the number 1 team in the country, but we expect ourselves to compete every game, and it just didn't seem like we did that today. And I think there's a lot of disappointment and good. I'd much rather we be frustrated and upset than just happy to take one. And that's not this team, that's not the mentality, that's not the goal with what we have for the rest of the season. So I think there's a lot to learn from it, and that's always been the goal from preseason on, is what can we take away from each weekend and make sure that we're better for it moving forward. And being able to stack up and see how you go head to head against the number 1 team in the country is a great way to see where we can improve. I think offensively, better at-bats. I think more competitive at-bats, second time seeing the pitcher on day 3. But I think the good to take away from it was good to see Josie back out there and just attacking the zone again, because we're going to need her. Raylan has done a great job throwing a lot of innings for us all season, but in the SEC, we're going to need some help. And I think Josie has all the talent in the world to do that and to complement what her and Delaney have been able to do for us.
Along that line, we've obviously talked a lot about Raylan's workload, and she's already pitched more than she did in maybe her years at LSU. So what is your level of concern about her, wearing down? Obviously, Texas is a lineup that's going to, come onto her when they've seen her, 5 or 6 times over a series.
Yeah, we're not concerned about it yet. We do a lot of testing from the weight room and back to the field, and just making sure that we're tracking everything, and especially with Raylan, she gets a little bit of extra testing just because of what she's been through with the cancer diagnosis, and just making sure that we're on track, we're recovering properly. I think we do a great job with our performance team and making sure that their bodies are where they're at, and she's not showing any sign of fatigue, and she wants the ball, so we're going to keep giving it to her there. But we do know it's just, once you see someone in 3 games, it's tough against any lineup, much less one of the best hitting teams in the country. So we're going to keep an eye on her. Really just between her, Delaney, and a couple of others, we've been a little bit banged up, to start the season, and it's stuff that maybe is not kind of outwardly that we're putting out there, but I think we're getting back to having everybody healthy and being able to give us, longer innings, and hopefully take some stress off of Raylan there too. But right now, I don't think we're concerned about her workload. I think this is what she's trained for since she said yes in June, and everything that we're seeing and the way she's tracking, she's still going to be doing a great job for us down the stretch.
I know you set it out as one of your goals to start the season about hosting a regional for the first time in this program. Are you open with the team about that at this point in the year? Just within, everything is obviously very tight with how strong the SEC is, and every weekend has a chance to prove yourself, but every game could make that difference.
Yeah, we're not really talking end of the year right now. The goal is to compete in the SEC and to be at the top. We don't want to finish middle, bottom of the pack. Our goal is to compete for an SEC championship. So it's really taking it one step at a time. We can't control a regional host right now. We can control how we compete against Texas over a weekend series. We can control the Central Arkansas midweek coming up on Tuesday. So it's more trying to stay in the moment, game to game, control what's right in front of us, because I think when you start looking ahead and talking about a regional or whatever it might be at the end, any sort of standings, that's more pressure, because now it's big picture. Now there's just a lot of things out of your control, whereas winning game 3 at home is something that was in our control today.
Coach, you mentioned that midweek game against Central Arkansas, then you have Tennessee next weekend. After this series, what's kind of the message to the team heading into this week?
We just talked briefly about let's continue to find ways to stay together when things are going our way and when they're not, and to play Mississippi State softball for 7 innings. And I thought we did that game 1, but really, almost played 7 innings of Mississippi State softball game 2, but didn't quite finish. But finding ways at practice to stay locked in and put ourselves in those pressure situations so that we're ready the next time we're up against a top 5 team with a chance to win a series on Sunday.
So, what makes Kevon and really everyone on their staff so tough to hit, even if you've seen them 3-4 times?
Yeah, definitely a great pitching staff, great team. They just mix pitches really well. I think we could have done a better job at executing a little bit, but overall, really great matchup today.
They said, the talk is, it was great to win the first game, but really allows it to lose the last 2. So how did you feel like the series kind of went in that regard? Yeah,
definitely. We took game 1, but I think everyone in this, on this team expected to take all 3. That's just our team. We're going to compete with them. They could be number 1, but on the field, there's no rankings out there. So we just went out there and did our very best and competed. And yeah, definitely frustrated that we couldn't take more than 1, but definitely going to exceed our expectations after this.
You're in sort of a unique position on this team because you've been at a place like UCLA that's been in the World Series many times and done that. So what sort of I don't know about wisdom, but like that sort of knowledge can you impart on some of your teammates who have not advanced that far, just in terms of what this is all about?
Yeah, definitely grateful for my time at UCLA, but definitely super excited for this team. Just gonna go out there and compete. Again, it's not about the rankings or anything, the outside world kind of thing. That's kind of the outside noise. You just need to shut it out, and that's the biggest thing. Is just going out there and competing.
Whether it's yourself or Raylan or Josie or Delaney, just kind of talk about this pitching staff and what they kind of bring to the table in SEC. Obviously, game one performance, great job by Raylan, and just talk about the chemistry in that room.
Yeah, we're a little family in this big family, like we always say. We need an entire staff to compete in the SEC, and that's what we have. And so there's a lot of dimension to our pitching staff, which is super awesome. We can lean on each other, like today, Josie picking up Raylan's back and, just going out there and competing.
Obviously, you have a midweek contest before another SEC series at Tennessee. What's, for you as a leader of this team, what's kind of the message to the team moving forward?
Yeah, we're going to scratch this game, scratch this series, and kind of just move on. Going to attack our midweek just the same as any other team and start there.
You mentioned Josie, just what did you think about her outing in the circle?
She did amazing. She was super composed, which is super awesome. She's a real upperclassman taking on that opportunity, so I'm really excited to see what she's going to do the rest of the season for us here at State.
Talking about this weekend series thing, can you talk about what Offer Alex means for you?
Yeah, definitely a super amazing moment for us, just being able to play for, something bigger than us. Definitely super special. Very thankful to be a part of a program that has such a, great foundation before us, and I really hope that we can, do justice to this team and, to the future as well.